So, hello Lu Mei.
Hello. Hello.
So here we are at the Chinese celebration of 50 years of China Republic.
Yes, it's for National Day. Yes.
And you are now come over here to study art.
Yes.
And do you come from mainland China or?
Yeah, I come from Beijing, capital city of China.
Right. And so you've come over here to study art at the local art academy?
Yes, at Amsterdam Hogeschool van de Kunst.
Okay. And how did that come about? Did that happen?
It's I think the school wants some exchange program as Chinese student. They want some Chinese student here, and they let some Chinese famous artists to introduce some student to came Holland. So it's very good opportunity for us.
So how long have you been here now?
1.5 years.
Okay. And you stay 3 years?
Yeah, next year we're going to finish it.
Okay. And then you'll go back to China, or you think you stay here in Europe?
No, we go back to China. There's our own atmosphere.
Right. Do you miss China a bit here?
Yeah, of course, the family and the friends. For me, it's a little bit because there's no many people from my hometown. There's more people came from south of China. No many people came from Beijing. So a little bit lonely.
So there are a lot of people, I think, from Taiwan here and also from Hong Kong. Yeah.
And Guangdong also, Wenzhou. Yeah.
And but anyway, let's look at your art because it's very beautiful. And I see you work with these are portraits of friends and people you know.
Yeah, it's very good friends with me.
And so do you paint landscapes as well or just portraits?
Portraits, especially Chinese faces, because I feel more deeply with the spirit and more easy to get in. It's Chinese faces.
Right. What do you think is specifically different about Chinese faces to Western European faces? How do you find that different?
Because I feel that you can see more spirit and you can much more understand each other from face and what do you say? The way to expression on the face.
Now you've said you've done here 6 portraits and you've put them all together. I think they're of different people, obviously. Is there a reason why you put them together? Is it that you paint them as a series, or are they each individual paintings that happen?
Yeah, they are series and they belong to each other. They sit together because they were live together and the same atmosphere also.
And these are people you know from Amsterdam also?
No, it's from Beijing.
Okay.
My own friend, old friends.
Okay, so they're sort of, you've painted them while you were living here, but they're sort of from connections back to Beijing.
Yeah.
Have they seen them yet?
Not yet.
And you work with oils or acrylics?
It's a mixed material and also charcoals and oil paint.
What difference is there studying art here as to studying it in Beijing?
I didn't study fine art in Beijing. I studied fashion design and another design. But I think for me it's better to study fine art. It's more coming out from heart, and I think maybe here it's more freedom, and the teacher didn't control anything. You can let you go yourself.
Okay, so you get more opportunity to explore yourself here, perhaps. But do you think you will also continue with fashion design, or do you think now you like to be fine art?
Fine art, I think.
Hello, Yang Zheng.
Hello, how are you?
Okay. Welcome to Amsterdam. I think you are living here now.
Yes, I'm living here.
And where are you originally from?
I'm from Beijing, capital city of China.
And how long have you been living here now?
Already one more year, 1.5 year, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're here to study art?
Yes, I'm studying fine art over here in the same school as the Lu Mei.
And were you studying also in Beijing art?
Yes, I'm study art from 6 years old, but I always go to the art school. Went to the art school and study fashion design and advertisement and jewelry design, everything. Yeah.
And how do you like it here in Amsterdam? Are you enjoying yourself here?
Yes, I like here very much. Very good atmosphere here, and yeah, in Amsterdam more culture, and I saw a lot of different people because here is an international city.
Very much so. And but here you are working, and this looks you're obviously working in oils here.
Yes, oil.
And so while you're studying here, you're studying very much fine art or a mixture of design and other things.
I studying very much more fine art and sculpture. Yes.
Okay, right. Well, you have no sculptures here, just the paintings today. Yes. Okay. And have you had any exhibitions or invitation to exhibit here?
It's first time.
And do you think you will like to visit the West more when you finished your study, or do you think once you go back to China you will like to stay?
Yeah, if I'm finished my school, I hope I can get another school, continue study. I want to study more, and I want to see more in Europe.
Now, I mean, when I look at your paintings, they have a real, although the subjects have a Chinese quality of them, but they are very much Western paintings, I think, Western in the way of thinking and the approach to use of paint and color and structure. Is this something specifically you're working on now? Is it something you think this is your way of approaching art? Or do you just now make an effort to take in the Western idea and then you go back to Chinese and mix the two?
Then I was in China. I always paint a very realistic painting, but that's not my personal way. Then I come here, I a little bit change, because I saw a lot of modern art and masterpiece painting. Give me a lot of push. I think I have to change, and I have to grow up. I have to find my own style.
Do you find that in the Chinese Republic that realism is required? That there's an attitude that they seek realism in art, and that they're afraid of expressionist abstractism or so?
No, I think now China is going to open, and people going to change. They more like also modern art, but also Chinese painting, but they welcome modern art come China, and also a lot of young artists they doing modern art, and
so you think there's going to be more interaction between West and the China in terms of culture and art, because of course it's such a huge country with such a history of culture and art in itself. In a way, it seems to, it appears to want to remain self-sufficient, you know, in its own self, you know, and a bit afraid to lose its identity in the Western culture. But you think the people are ready to mix a little bit and to be open to people like you coming and going and forming the bridge between cultures?
Yes, because China, a lot of people they are doing arts. I think some people still keep the traditional way. Some people they change to modern art way.
Sure, because I mean, in fact, I was at the Gate Foundation, which caters for international artists here in Amsterdam, and they're very keen to support artists from all over the world in their creative work. And they had an exhibition called Not a Chinese Exhibition, because they had some people here who have also been born here, but they were of Chinese origin. But they wanted to express themselves as individuals, as artists, rather than being always shown in an exhibition as an example of Chinese art, or of, you know, that you get associated with your nationality first and then as your creative personality second. So do you think that's a problem for you in the West, that you will always be a Chinese artist as opposed to just Yang Zheng, the artist?
No, I don't think, because I got a lot of feeling from before. Then I was China. I got in China, not in Holland. because China old culture give me a lot of energy, and I read a lot of book, old Chinese book, so it's more feeling from before. And but I think when I been here, I going to say, oh, I have this kind of feeling, but before I'm not. I don't know. I have this kind of feeling. Now I discover it.
Beautiful colour in your paintings. Very colourful, very bright, very and energetic, I think is the right word.